Welcome back, boys and girls. This is the Suck It Up podcast. I'm Uncle Bugatti.
And I'm Mark Papakilo.
So, last Saturday, we shot the Spartan 300, hosted by Tactical Shit, down in Sparta, Illinois. We both were in the production division, and I shot pretty terribly, but that's what...
For being your first big boy USPSA match, I think you did pretty well for being right in the middle of the road.
And one of the competitors that was in our squad actually pointed out pretty well that this was a pretty tough steel challenge because the part times were tight.
Yeah, they were. And some of them weren't tight, some of them were, but someone on the YouTubes, because all of this stuff, all of these stages are posted on the Mike Papakilo 1414, soon to be just the Mike Papakilo Reviews channel. Gonna rebrand it so I can tell people, that I don't have an Xbox gamer tag as my YouTube handle.
Yeah, that maybe didn't pan out as well as you thought.
The original intent of that YouTube channel was to do video games, and then I realized that I wasn't MLG pro enough to play Cockapooty, so here we are, 9 years later.
Well, anywho, so it was broken down into 10 stages. I think there was 2 extra for the team, but we didn't do that. But each stage comprised of 30 points, totaling to 300 points.
I.e. the Spartan 300.
Spartan 300. There was 25 targets and 1 bonus target. The bonus target was 5 points.
And I missed 1.
He missed 1.
I am pissed.
And I honestly was right there watching him, and I didn't know what went through his head, but nobody does. So.
I racked that plate rack like as fast as anyone ever could have with a PCC, and I was using a pistol. I was like, okay, target's gone, and didn't think to look up and hit the bonus target.
One of the comments on the video was like, is that, they called it a Taurus wrong, but they're, because you shot a Janik.
Well, I was going to shoot the Taurus TH9, but we had a bit of a issue replacing the front sight, and I didn't want to deal with it.
They were like, did you put a full auto sear in that?
Yeah, I shoot fast. Look at the splits, bro. Look at the splits. That's going to be a t-shirt.
Look at those splits. Mm-hmm. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to pull up a video on our end, and we'll tell you what stage it was so you can find it on.
Oh, they're going to be watching it.
Okay. Oh, they're going to be watching it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be some production value.
Okay, so let's do you have them in order, actually?
I'm going to do them in order that we were presented them.
Okay.
So the first one was Touch 'Em All, which was a baseball themed, and obviously you guys will be watching it, but basically you start at home plate, engage 5 tombstones in a linear rack, 2 poppers, and then the Spartan is the bonus target worth 5 points, and it was 35, 40 yards in the back of the berm, which I think you nailed it in 1 shot.
I'll have to watch the video. I thought it was 2. I could have sworn because I was oddly surprised I finished the first, under par time. Mm-hmm. And we'll go over why when we're watching me shoot. But I'm pretty sure I shot like 2 to 3 times before I hit it.
It was very impressive for being 40 yards, being the first stage with all the nerves. Because I think I engaged it 4 times before I hit it.
I was almost literally shaking. Like, it wasn't enough to affect
a nervous
like
grandma.
Yeah,
wasn't like that.
I had adrenaline pumping through my system. Now, this is first match, came to perform, blah blah blah. That kind of thing. But I gotta say, once it kicked off, I was pretty much in all these matches. Once they kicked off, I was pretty much in the right headspace.
Oh, there's the BOC. I spotted him.
See, he was
just a moron.
Yeah,
I just call him a BOC because he's old.
Yeah, that's fair. But he was just kind of a moron. And
if you guys need to know what that acronym means, what that acronym means, just go to the Ben Steger podcast because he says it enough, and you should probably listen to that if you're interested in USPSA anyway.
Yeah, I think that's
that put us ahead of the game. Really, we stage planned better than most people in our group, and honestly, we weren't much better shots. We missed a lot. It was 300 targets, so 300 engagements. We both shot. I shot around 500 rounds. You definitely shot over 500 rounds.
Yeah, there's no way I didn't shoot 500 rounds. But we had some help. There was some pretty competent people in our squad
Yeah,
you know,
the
one,
the
two.
legend Brees family. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah. So here we got
Here goes Uncle Bugatti.
number
with
37.
Number 37 of
He dared me to wear a softball jersey.
the softball jersey of the drunken morons from Bumblefuck Nowhere.
So it started off.
Oh, you missed it.
Yeah, I hit it
twice.
2 times. I think I fired a couple extra shots on that plate rack.
Oh, and then you went back and you nailed it. That's
what it was. I shot 2, missed, and tried to give it up. So I reloaded, ran to the second. I ran to first, I should
These
say.
plate racks were pretty close, but we still had a number of misses. Look at that fat kid run.
Yeah, see, I told you I look like. I asked him at the match. I said, "Do I look like a fat kid running?" And
I
he
wasn't
said,
even
no.
concerned about it because I was trying to get the shot. Which, thank you. You missed one of my stages.
You missed some targets of mine.
No, I didn't.
What do you mean I missed one of the stages?
The harder and harder. You didn't even film.
I filmed that.
You did not.
I swear that I either filmed it or I turned off the. Anywho, here I did an actual pretty decent plate rack.
That was an awesome plate rack after you missed once reloaded.
Yeah.
You gathered yourself, essentially.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, honestly, getting back on into that headspace, because what you do when you get frustrated is you start firing like a machine gun.
Yeah.
What I do
Which is the last thing you want to do.
I miss like 12 times and then start yelling obscenity. So here goes MPK. You can't see any of those. We had it on a stand.
I missed 2 times and engaged the bad boy on the third shot. But that was a really shitty run. I was running with my hands on the gun. I should have basically been sprinting with one hand, and that was a nice reload. Moving and reloading was way easier than what I thought it was because we've never practiced that. But since we do it statically, I think the muscle memory still counts. Miss. This was a really weird day for me because I was engaging high on everything, and I think it was because of the adrenaline blur of my sights. I think with this Janik, which is what I'm shooting, this is Janik TP9 SF, the rear blade has no color on it, which I'm used to shooting 3 dots, so I just lined the 3 dots up. I think I was pressing the front post too high because I had no reference to the rear blade, and I was shooting over everything all day.
That's fair. The harder and harder stage, I actually had problems seeing the target versus the front post under stress. So I might get which was suggested to me was a fiber optic front sight.
Most all pros shoot a fiber because they're thinner, they're brighter, especially in bright light. You can see it a lot better, and you don't have to worry about any shaded targets because when you shoot a shaded target, even with 3 dot sights, it washes out because your dot is bright and the target's faded. Whereas with like a true glow sight, if it's at low light, you can still see the green and the target that you're shooting at.
Someone told me, they're like, why would you want fiber optic? It's not going to be lit up when it's dark. Yeah, when it's dark, you can't see anything.
And it's very good at picking up stray light.
So as the day progresses, I want to go through my stance because right there it looks okay.
That's a very powerful stance you had there.
Yes,
that as well. Because you were shooting over, you'd gather yourself, ping, 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 ping.
It's weird if you're doing terrible and you do something like transition or reload, that gives, I don't know what it is, but it kind of resets.
I'm the exact opposite because I'll hose and get everything really well. Like at the USPSA match that I shot 2 days before, my first USPSA match.
With no shoot targets.
Yeah, with no shoot targets. Once I reload, my grip is trash, which is why I dry fire to reload so I can figure out my left-hand pressure. But the Janik ran flawlessly all day, and I was very happy with it, but I'm definitely changing out the sights because I like the big dot in the front, but I'm either going to paint the rear notch or just, like I said, I'm going to change them out because I already bought them. So might as well do that. But we've never practiced plate racks. Later on, you guys are going to see some Texas Stars. We've never practiced that. And just learning the fundamentals, really, watching you track your pistol through a plate rack, like I would just stay static and try and hose the thing. You would actually track the target and engage the targets, and you did really well. But this first stage was pretty simple. All of them were, we weren't moving and shooting. It was just all static shooting. And we both got well under the par time. It was a very simple stage.
That was the start to a false sense of security that I was going to be okay.
Yep.
Because we literally started on probably one or two of the easiest?
Yeah, it was one of the 3 of the easiest ones.
Because I'd say Kingpin was pretty easy
Very easy.
because you didn't move. And there was a lot of these red, white, and blue. You had to shoot the red from the red box. That adds just enough where you're not thinking about shooting. And you're like, what color do I? And I kept telling him I was like, okay, I'm going to go in the box and go red, red, red,
Yep,
red.
mentally through this entire stage, this is the flop and poppers. When I was in the box, I was like, okay, white, 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 transition, red, 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 or blue, and then red, 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 red was the last. But we both started on the left, which was smart because later in the day we figured out from. So we both started on the left side of the stage, which was white, and later in the day, with the wonderful insight of the Breeze family, we figured out that was a good thing because when you're moving to the right, if you stick your arm out, you're right-handed, stick your right-handed shooting hand out, and then keep it pointed down range perpendicularly across your body, essentially, and start moving to the right, you'll figure out that reloading that way is very easy. Now, if you turn 180 degrees the other way and start moving left, hold your gun down range and try and reach across your body to reload, much more difficult. So if you're a left-handed shooter, you'll want to shoot right to left because the reloads are much easier because you can tuck the gun into your body and reload that way.
Honestly, just walk from one side of the house to the other, keeping the muzzle pointed down range and reloading.
Yep.
Give it a try and do it at all different angles. That's what I'm going to start doing.
Yep. So we both started on the left side, engaging the poppers around the corner, which you didn't start all that great. You didn't have the power lean that I started with, so I could see all the targets, which you actually waste several seconds. So we'll watch you start. You're standing straight up and down, and then you actually have to shoot the one popper, transition, shoot the second, transition, shoot the third, and then you start transitioning all the live poppers in the middle, which this first spray you did very well, and then the wheels start falling off right here. So
Those
long
farther
range
targets, yeah.
Long range, you get very frustrated, and both of us were like, I had the target, instead of, gathering ourselves and getting a good trigger press.
So here I shoot 4, 5, 6 times at the bonus target, go for it again, and I give up. This is why you didn't finish this stage, because you shot probably a little bit more than I did.
But I got the 5 points instead of just missing 1 point.
Yeah. In my head, I didn't understand the rules. I didn't read through them entirely. I read through what I thought was enough.
The bonus target wasn't actually a bonus target, which was kind of dumb.
Yeah, a bonus target to me is, you get it extra points, but it actually ties into the total score of 300.
It was a multiplier. So when I got up, I transitioned through all the white targets, and you can see me when he said draw and make ready. You're allowed to point your gun down range.
I need to start doing that.
And you get a nice grip so you know what the draw is going to feel like. And you can see me just cheating over, getting that power lean. So when I draw and fire, impact, 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 I didn't have to transition. I saved a second and a half. And in USPSA, that saves.
I don't think it was a full second and a half because I missed a shot. So,
well, there's that too. But moving and shooting is harder than being static and shooting, which is what I was doing. So
touche.
That's what the lean is for. Again, thanks, Ben Steger.
Thank you.
Well, and Jerry Mitchell, because he's like, Jerry Mitchell's like, yeah, I cheat. That's why I win. And that's just the way it works. You try and get away with as much as possible. Oh God, look at all those misses.
I see you, and I see everyone do this on these stages. Is when you shoot, miss, but you expected to hit it, and then you're already gunning for it.
And that the only reason I missed it is because I jerked the trigger.
Because you were so ready to go forward with the next stage, which, I mean, that's something like I would like to try out at Beard's house, is just setting up maybe even just 3 boxes.
Setting up fault lines so we can transition between
fault lines, boxes, so we have to, because it's not. I was never physically gassed doing this. I was never like panting from. It's not a physical thing. It's literally composing yourself after, you're going from being completely static to a proper shooting stance to
and
moving.
One thing that you definitely screwed up on the stage is when you moved between boxes, you did not reload, and that slowed you down.
Yeah. Well, this is before we started like verbalizing how we were going to plan these stages.
We also didn't reload between the first stage and this one, so when they were explaining the stage, we were reloading because we were amateurs. Then we quickly figured out, like, oh, screw setting up the targets. We need to reload and be ready for the next stage.
Here I lean so I could see all the targets. But yes,
just the little shit you don't know because we've never shot a big match.
see, there is so many tiny things that I picked up.
The intricacies, if you will.
And that's what you always hear Ben Stoker talk about things like, I'm not going to tell you everything, all right? I'm going to tell you the fundamentals, and you need to get out there and do it.
Well, yeah, that's the only way you really learn is by doing it. You can prepare yourself, but
You got to try. You got to drive a couple thousand miles before you break everything in, you know? Or 10,000 rounds. They say 10,000 hours, but how long does it take a gun to cycle? Like,
that was a sexy reload between stages. What do you mean?
it was a bad joke. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool. With most handguns, there's guys who shoot STIs that say their gun isn't broken in until 2,000 rounds. I'm like, what are you paying for? Because most of the guns we shoot are broken in out of box and have no malfunctions, including the Shanik that I'm shooting today.
Yeah, I probably got, I don't know, I'm going to call it 8,000 through my gun. And I've had, various stovepipes. I had actually one stage coming up, I have a failure to extract. And I really want to talk about that because
I couldn't see it, so I had no idea what the heck happened.
it's not on video, is it?
Nope.
Okay, so we'll go to the next one, which is actually the one we're talking about. It's globetrotting, right?
I believe so. No, it was the stick the landing, stick the dismount.
Oh, man, this is what I was scared of doing.
This one was brutal.
It's a nice wide platform too, but you're engaging muscles you just don't use to stand up straight. And what do you practice for this? A balance beam? Now, it's not, it started off raised above the ground, so there was some bounce to it. And by the time we got to it,
there was enough fat white people that got on it that
Yeah.
it was actually touching the ground.
which, by the way, we need more non-white people. Everyone should be armed. But anyway.
Yeah, this was the one where one of the range directors was not white. But there were Kentrell from the range and his buddies were probably the only black folks that were there, which was very sad.
It is sad. I would love to see more Americans embracing, because this is a sport, regardless. Here we go. So what you're looking at is him. You won't have the audio of him talking. Maybe you'll put it quietly.
The BOC.
But I think this is the stage that guy got a little piece of shrapnel in his chest.
Yep.
Wear ANSI approved safety glasses, please, because there was fragments flying everywhere. How many
Especially
times you get hit?
The PCC guys, whenever they'd hit something, it would just be a perfect
Oh
disc
yeah,
flying off.
they're shooting like 200 grain bullets. I mean, not really, more like 140.
They're shooting most of them shoot 124s, and out of a pistol caliber carbine, instead of being like 1,200 feet per second,
Screaming.
they're like 1,650,
Well, they have 3 times the barrel I have, so
if not more.
a
A lot of them are 16-inch barrels.
basically this was our very, not only was this stage hard, you had 35 seconds, which was way too short to do it.
Yep.
And this was our first time shooting Texas Stars.
Yeah, that
Thankfully,
was brutal.
one of the breezes told us, as long as you hit the 12 o'clock, it will start to shift its weight again against the direction that. So, right now, I'm loading. You see it. It's kind of shifted to the right. That 12 o'clock, it's kind of more towards 1 o'clock.
So it's actually going to start rotating counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise. And what you can do is you can follow. Your gun goes clockwise as it goes counterclockwise, and you just follow the targets down.
Yep.
Now, fumbling off you can see my legs quivering.
That you can. Got a couple mics in there, and then the dreaded Texas Star. You took way too much time on this, and there you should have just been moving. As soon as you started reloading, you should have just cut your losses and started moving, because this is where all of your time got wasted.
That's one of the things of this match that we saw was pick your battles.
And you were very bad at picking your battles.
Very bad. Specifically this round. See, I still have probably 7 or 8 targets, including the
the special, yeah.
Now, if
You have
what you'll see is you
8
see me walking
targets.
off, shaking my head.
You had 8 targets in the special, so you missed 13 on this match, which was half the targets plus 1. So, well, half the points rather.
Yeah, this round, and you'll see old MPK here, because to me it's like skipping targets. That doesn't make sense. But you shoot this stage and tell me you shouldn't skip.
Yeah.
Like, especially not having any experience. I would love to set this target up and run it until we get it right.
Because you see here, I got a ping, and 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 I got a miss, and I
Gravity helped
miss.
you there.
And I was like, okay, reload, get out of there.
Towards the end, you'll start seeing me assess things a little bit better. But there's been like this one harder.
Get that
and harder.
bonus target. Boom, got it. Okay, I'm good. And then just try to get the second Texas star. And that was it. Missed 5 or 6 targets on that one.
Sometimes you can get lucky with the Texas stars, and that the impact of one will actually force the vibration will knock the other one off. Especially if someone didn't. What's that?
That was your fly.
Especially if they didn't put them on right. Now, I thought maybe the kids that were running out there weren't putting them on right.
They definitely were putting one right. They were savages.
It's just, I mean, there's
Sometimes
12 people in our
helps
12 people in our group. We're going through this every probably 15, 20 minutes shooting these things. If you bought one of these yourself, you might. I mean, how many times are you really going to shoot a Texas Star? Maybe 100 times before you skip on to something else, just to save ammo.
Right.
Regardless, fell off, shaky legs. A little slow on this part as I'm coming down the balance beam.
Your grip doesn't look bad, though. It's
The
just
grip and the recoil,
You're
it's-
rushing your shot something fierce.
Rushing, jerking the trigger,
Yep.
and not watching where the impact is going. I actually hit one, didn't fall off, and then it came down, and another one knocked it off. So I should have just said, screw it. Actually, right at the end there, I actually knew I was out of time and said, screw it, and went for the bonus target and let off a round that missed, like right after the buzzer. So that would have been nice. But, I mean, honestly, that would have put me, 239 out of points? Which, honestly, I had said I had hoped to clear 250.
What did you end up with?
234. Now, I could have cleared 250. I could have easily cleared 250. If I would have ran this again, I bet I could at least get 250, 260. I think that's realistic. Because I didn't do the first 3 or 4 stages that we did, I didn't know what I was doing. I kind of had an idea, but I was like, oh, I'll just, as with life, I'll just make it up as I'm going along.
God, that was a beautiful reload. I felt like I was moving so slow, but watching this stuff over again, we were actually pretty quick.
None of our reloads look terrible.
None
of them look terrible. My stance gets worse throughout the day. It was hot. And you didn't want to drink too much water because, honestly, you didn't want to piss every 2 seconds because nothing makes me worse than...
Well, just worrying about things between stages. Okay,
yeah, it's like, okay.
Am I dehydrated? Do I have enough calories in the bank to get this done? Which, I don't know about you, but every time I got in that shoot box when they were saying shoot already, I got the biggest adrenaline dump, and the world just shuts off.
I didn't get an adrenaline dump. I had the kind of blinders of like just focus on your targets, which is a nice aspect of any kind of competition, really. But it also involves guns, so it's even better.
So this was the Globetrotter stage, and we started on the wrong side for right-handed reloads, but we just wanted to start on the different side than everybody else, which is basically what it boiled down to.
I don't, because I thought I'm a left or right shooter, usually, or
the only reason I wanted to do it this way is because it was safer to point your gun down range and run with your left hand against your body. But that was my logic going into the stage, which is wrong now that we know what we're doing.
Yeah, but we'll actually have a pretty good example of now what the RO told me was that my gun was just right on that line of 180, and that was because between the did the hand jibe into a reload. That's pretty. You know what? I'll take it. So between the first and second stage, you'll actually see the RO kind of reach his hand out. I put my hands up, and he said, "Put your hands down, dude."
What are you, some kind of asshole? God, I love these targets. I don't know how you didn't enjoy them. I just hosed them, and
I didn't hate them. I just right there. Boom. See, put his hand up.
Oh yeah.
See, those targets I think I hit all at once.
There's that target that I missed.
Right here. Put the magazine in. Didn't feed. Tried and rack the slide. Have to hold the slide open. Magazine pulled out. Racked it. Remembered that there's no round in there. Put the magazine in. Start shooting. And then
This is where you should have cut your losses and moved, dude. You just stayed on this target for a good 10 rounds. You should have just given up and started moving because they were racing the clock at this point because you already had a
can you
malfunction.
see me shaking? I know I was shaking at that point.
Okay, there's more than 10 rounds downrange. You just kept trying. You should have cut your losses and moved.
This is once again like I don't know what I thought, but like you said, you gotta move because
If any of you want to know what a power lean looks like, just look at me right now, okay? Holsters gun, and look at that, 10 degrees. The biggest power lean ever. I do not want recoil to throw me off at all, and I just hose it.
he had a couple gravity assists there.
That is bullshit. I hit every one of those targets. You can hear them. The one in the front, I got a gravity assist.
I'm not saying you didn't miss targets. I'm saying there was clearly.
Look at that reload. Get it, girl.
This is where. So your Janik had actually.
Ping, 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 ping. Gravity.
That's what you were doing. You knocked so many off that. And there you missed your fucking bonus. God, why is it called a bonus target?
Yeah, right.
But reload.
No, the one thing that the Janik has problems with at the top of the key, and you can see me throw my head back because that was when I noticed. I was like, oh, I forgot the bonus target.
The best part was he had 10 seconds.
10 full seconds.
He probably could have ran back, slid into first, or slid into home head first like Pete Rose.
and just turned around on my back, shot the
this
target.
Is basketball, so
head of the key is what
Larry
you're looking
Bird.
for. slid into the head of the key like old Mikey Jordan and dropped that three like it was nobody's business. Yeah, see, I zoomed out when you did that little muzzle sweep, so I didn't see shit.
You'll have to. And he came up to me. He's like, "Dude, you were really close. I could have called it, but everyone's here to have fun."
Right.
And you know what? I'm super thankful he did that because I would have been out for the rest of the day.
Yeah, you would have been done.
I don't think I've ever been as nervous about doing that again, and you should be.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, like
everyone was really constructive, but they also had like the dad voice going on, like you goofed big time,
which is fair because honestly, I was pointing the gun the right way until the reload because I thought I wasn't thinking honestly.
Well, and now that we know we need to move left to right, that will probably never happen
that'll
again.
probably save like even the instinctive reflex to do something retarded. Sorry.
Don't say that word. What, Jew? Yeah. No, this was a fun stage, and I'm very upset that I missed that target because I shot a 275. I could have ended up with a 280.
Watch. Hit. Fall off. That was a gravity
the
assist.
second
because
last.
you got that twice, which is because
I hosed it.
You used the hose.
Use the hose, Luke. I hit that first popper like 3 times to get that thing to fall.
It puts the lotion on the skin, or else it gets the hose again.
Ping, 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 and gravity.
It actually stopped the rotation and then sent it back forward.
That it did. I hit that
What do they call those pinwheels?
Yeah, it's
that
like
was a new one.
Pinwheel or a water wheel.
It's like, I mean, if you're watching this and you can see it, but it's kind of like a Ferris wheel. It's like a Texas Star if everything was turned.
I threw my head back so hard because I was like, God, you're an idiot. You missed the bonus target. That pisses me off even to this day. Which, I mean, like you said, looking at the leaderboard, it wouldn't have put me up anywhere better, but I don't care about that. I didn't shoot to my best potential.
I don't think it would have moved
between that and the back and forth, missing that little blue popper.
A lot of people on the back and forth would miss like one target.
Yep.
I bet most of the mulligans, which is bullshit.
This was by far my favorite stage. Knock knock. I blazed through this thing.
Yeah. And
looking at the other people, I did it better than some dudes in open class because I blazed this round.
So this is where after this match is where I started being like, okay, maybe I should plan things
a little bit
because Because what I was concerned about was going too far and engaging that first target on the left and being past 180. Because of the basketball, what was it called?
Globetrotting.
Because of the globetrotting stage, I was so worried about the 180 that I was like, okay, come through and then stop here, or not necessarily stop. I did pretty well until I got to the
second, the last,
the very
target
last
of
yeah.
the second group.
Well, just pretty much anything after that. This RO is pretty cool too. So most of the ROs are pretty cool.
They were all very cool.
I mean, even if they were super salty dudes, they really didn't show it.
No. This knock stage, it's the textbook definition of saving time while moving and shooting, because once you had to reload and go for that last target, which, again, probably should have cut your losses, you wasted so much time, you didn't get through the door in time to get all the other targets.
You'll actually see me shoot at that rack of targets and then move forward. Mm-hmm. It's like all the way.
Dink. such a lousy kick.
But I didn't need to kick it that hard. My concern was the thought that it would swing back and hit me. But as you and me both see, even when you did it especially, but even me, I was through the door before. Miss, hit, miss, hit the Spartan.
Behind the plate
Behind the plate, move forward, and time.
Yeah, that's moving and
do
shooting.
You see my face? Like, that's it? Like, I didn't even realize that's how bad of time management that. And see, that's stuff that we could do at
and we don't even
Beards.
we don't even count rounds. That's how novice we are. We don't count rounds.
And
which in production, you really.
Now thankfully this match they were given door swing and closes. In this match we were allowed to load it to 15 because
which helped a ton.
There's no way.
Clean that rack. This was over so fast that most of these stages I didn't even have a clear thought process. It was just like hit that target, keep moving.
Well, if you hit everything you pull the trigger at, you can pretty much you don't have to think about anything. But if when they start getting more complicated, like stick the landing, harder and harder, you kind of got to be like, all right, I need to not hose.
Yeah. Especially harder and harder, which thankfully that was the one that had an ample par time because I missed a ton on that. Which
I
you guys won't see because someone didn't record.
I don't know what happened there.
I don't either, but
because I tracked the camera on you
when we. Well, you didn't hit the record button.
That's probably what it was.
When we shot back and forth, you didn't turn the microphone on.
Oh, I didn't even know the microphone needed to be turned on. You didn't tell me these things. You never tell me anything.
Well, if there's no green light, the microphone's not on. Fun fact.
I don't know that,
but
I know it now. You
now
could have said, "Hey, when you use the camera, make sure the microphone's on. It's not always on." Cool.
That's why most stages I made sure it was on. But if I had to get going, anyway, there's a lot to be said for the two ends of the same spectrum here. We're both novices at this, but I accepted at the beginning of this match that the par times and being hindered by production, that if you are stuck shooting more than 3 rounds at something, or if you have to reload, you need to move.
Yeah, there's no way we were going to hit.
If you're not shooting, you're moving, and if you're not moving, you're reloading. And if you're not reloading and moving at the same time,
you see
you
your
suck.
left arm go, ah!
Well, that's the thing. I sped through that second door so fast that it didn't have time to come back and swing and hit me because I was through the door.
Oh, even the speed I was going, I wouldn't have been hit by that door.
Probably not.
But he said something during the match briefing that made me be like, maybe I shouldn't go through the door so fast.
It's a light piece of plywood. You would have been fine.
I was also in my head like, well, I don't want to break it. But
I wanted to break it.
Every operator fucking threeper out here was probably kicking that thing. I'm a sheepdog. All right, so after this, we had actually gone to lunch. We made a wise decision to not eat any carbs. And I gotta say, I was not thrown off at all. Nope. I actually felt refreshed, and you can now see it because in the Seeing Stars, you didn't move. I tended to do okay in the stages where we didn't move.
Yes,
Think about it. Think about the stages where I did the best. Didn't move.
Exactly.
Because that's how we trained.
Yep, we haven't. The first training of shooting and moving I had done this past weekend with Beard, and Beard is so bad at pistol shooting, he just still needs to train to shoot static because he's just bad. And he shoots with one eye closed because he makes an excuse that he can't shoot with both eyes open. I was like, dude, you just need to train.
I caught myself occasionally on this stage closing an eye to try and and it doesn't help you.
I don't know how people can do it because, okay, launch, hit, miss, hit, 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 hit. Oh, never mind.
Miss.
You only had 2 misses on that first array, and it's awesome.
This
middle one is just
get
brutal.
fucked up. I thought I wasn't gonna finish this, and then it kicked in right
Miss,
here.
miss, 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 miss.
So this was a hose fest, and I didn't
Look
do
at that
this-
track. You tracked your muzzle perfectly to hit that target.
And look at my grip looks pretty good.
Your grip was solid the whole day. We both had good grips. We both had good reloads, and good presentation. We both were yanking the trigger so bad.
How we'll talk about how to mitigate that later. But what we trained was, we did a metric ass load of dry firing and static reloads.
Accurate. Yep. Accurate.
Assuming that would do the trigger or do the job, but okay, miss.
Lots and lots of missing and hosing.
So nice one tap on the bonus target. The double taps definitely help with stuff.
I just tried to hose that target and just
Yeah,
kept missing.
You weren't really moving at all.
No, I was just staying planted. You had an awesome muzzle track on most of those targets. I was just waiting for the targets.
How much
to
is
stop.
a Texas Star?
$500.
You want to split one?
Yeah. I actually contacted 3 different companies to see if they'd sponsor the YouTube channel.
If we don't get a sponsor, I will throw $250 at you for one.
Because we could do days worth of shooting at a Texas Star, which they don't show up very much in USPSA, but when they do, it's usually like a sectional match.
Well, it's one of those things that like driving a stick versus driving a manual.
Because look, you're tracking your muzzle on every one of those shots. That is something I did not do. You just instinctively picked that up. It's a good thing you missed in the middle there because you would have been way behind. And if any of you really cared, we were shooting 115 grain MagTech this whole day.
Yeah, I was super worried that. See, look at the muzzle. It raises like
Nothing.
a quarter of an inch, maybe a half inch.
And we really weren't gripping hard because once that buzzer went off, I think
I didn't do anything. Well, that was training. That was definitely training.
That and I took from Ben Stoger's book.
See, I skipped a target intentionally. I skipped that target. So that's when I started being like, okay,
Yeah.
now's the time to skip. But next was harder and harder, and that you couldn't really skip. It just got harder,
Yeah, right.
as the name implies.
But this whole day, I took a page out of Ben Stoger's verbal book because I haven't bought his literal book. But the pea gravel that they have there, it has aggregate in it, and it is awesome for your grip on a plastic or steel gun. So before every stage, I would go grab a handful of gravel and rub it around my hands.
I did that a couple times, but then I'd wipe it off my left hand to get good skin to skin contact on my hands, and then the aggressive stippling. Am I saying that correctly?
Mm-hmm.
Aggressive stippling. I said stifling, and he said, "You're an asshole." The aggressive
Stifling.
The aggressive stippling. Don't do it yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Just go buy a grip. But the second gen of the M&P, they did a really good job with that.
Did.
It's honestly the only better thing would be skateboard tape.
Well, I shot a Gen 1 shield, and the original stippling was hot garbage.
It almost was like there's less surface area now. I can't grip this.
Yep, it was tear bad. So yeah, if you can buy a Gen 2, just do it because the stippling is that much better. This dude's facial hair had me weak.
He looks like he's seen some shit.
And by some shit, he means the barber down the road.
Look, I almost was like, this is an aggressive fade. Because his hair on top is like, you know what, I'm not going to talk crap about some dude who volunteered to be here.
Well, yeah, that was the one really cool thing is about most of the guys who were ROs, they They got a free pass to shoot one day, but they volunteered both days, which is brutal. It's 10 hours of being in the
10
sun.
hours of watching assholes
Shoot guns.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, our group was the best because of the kids that were there.
I'm so happy that we raised $100 for them at the end of the day.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
It was $98, I think.
So they each got 25?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. I honestly, if I had more cash,
And
I would give more.
Breeze, oh my God, that kid is an animal.
Yeah, he, like, all the other kids were kind of like, you know, towards the end especially, were kind of half-assed and running down there, which don't get me wrong, they were still kind of jogging.
They were running the whole day.
That kid was on the line waiting for the RO to go range is clear. They even got in trouble for setting up targets before the RO was ready to count.
Yeah, because the RO was so
and
far
he was
behind.
that was the BOC. I said that too.
Yeah, and that was the thing. There's 2 or 3 range officers on every stage, and the one who's running the timer is supposed to be watching the shooter, and the other 2 are supposed to be counting the targets, and the other 2 just did not.
They were just all butthurt about having to be out there.
There's old Breeze right there.
That's not me.
That kid's a savage.
Oh.
No, that was Captain CZ who bought a really expensive CZ Shadow and sucked. But, you know, I digress.
All right, so it starts off then it gets bad, and then it gets okay, and then it gets bad again, if I remember correctly. Actually, that was pretty good.
Yeah, he cleared those with one mic.
And I ran pretty good. My stance is still okay.
Yeah, and your grip didn't fade at all.
But I didn't hit anything. That's the problem.
You hit absolute dick on that one. You had
this
to do a
whole
static
stage was
reload.
bad.
I had troubles on the 4th shoot box, but until then I had maybe 2 or 3 misses at each part. That Spartan head was giving you the finger.
It took me 2 or 3 shots, which sounded normal.
This was one of the stages that you won't be able to see, but I was shooting over all the targets because I did not get the side alignment down because I was doing target focus the whole day, even at 40 yards, which is not a great idea.
See, I've always trained on front post, but this was trigger jerk central.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even make it to the last and time. No? Yeah. I even had, did you see that slouch of giving up?
Now, this one for me was pretty simple. I got all the hits on all the targets within, like I said, 8 shots of each stage until I got to the second to last one.
He finished with probably 5 seconds left. Did you look it up?
It was a decent amount of time. No, I didn't look it up. I didn't really care because I knew I cleared the whole stage. But at that last group of targets, I shot high every time, and I thought I was adjusting down, but I was adjusting the whole gun down, not the front post down in the notch.
Actually, one of the breeze was you were shooting. He's like, just slow down.
Yep.
Because once again, like, I'm not saying I don't get frustrated. I don't hose when I get frustrated though.
I hose.
You know what? This is a perfect example because this is a test. This is just like this is a test of marksmanship. When you have a test in like college, and you're stuck on a question, move on to the next one.
Yep.
Because you're gonna waste time being like, I don't know how to do it, and maybe in the interim, you can maybe knock something loose in your brain, come back to it and hit it okay, or you finish the rest of them, don't get to that one, and you finish the rest of the test instead of staying on it.
Right. Because
much like a shark, if you stop moving, you die. So,
gills, how do they work?
But this was a good example of me, what do they call that? The sunk cost fallacy of, well, I spent this much, so I should spend a little more. And what I'm spending right now is time.
Yep.
So I think this is this stage of all stages should have been like, I could have taken a 5-second breath, been like, whew. All right, just think, squeeze, press, don't squeeze, and go for it. And I bet I could have, if I would have ran that again, like if I would walk out right now and do the same thing, I would clear that. There's no way I shouldn't have cleared that.
And here was my favorite stage.
This was indubitably my favorite stage.
This one I actually want to look up to see who shot faster because we were pretty close to each other. Good old...
Do you have it already pulled up?
I did. Practice score. Oh, that's fine. We can keep doobly dabbling. It's pretty easy for me to just cut it out.
Yeah. So somehow we have to replicate the stress of a match. I don't know how we're gonna do that because it's not gonna be exactly the same, but we have to be able to find some way to stress.
Oh, that's why I told you to build the stage that I told you to build. So Kingpin, I shot in 20 and a half, and Uncle Bugatti shot in 23.88. So yeah, we were pretty close. But this one was something that I had been thinking about because, like I said previously, we were shooting 115 grain ammo at 126-ish power factor, which is like the bare minimum to shoot production. And
To shoot poppers. But, well, yeah, you're right. Like, to actually calculate power factor.
yeah,
But
and at sectionals, when we go there, they're actually going to pull the bullet, measure it, and put it over a chronograph, which I learned at dusk or sundown. Our chronograph reads about 50 feet per second low, so all of my 9mm Mania data is 50 feet per second off.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I was very upset with that.
Don't tell the sponsors.
But oh, they don't give a shit. But once we calculated this ammo in the broad daylight, all of it was shooting around 11.25, depending on the barrel length. But I actually had gone and bought some high-quality Browning, nickel-plated, and graphite-plated 147 grain stuff, and it knocked down those heavy poppers like a mother.
It doesn't look like you were going any sweeping left to right. It looks like you were just shooting any available target.
Uh-huh.
I don't... There were so many of them you could do
I
that.
shot them as I seen them.
I seen it.
Yep. There's those savages resetting again.
Look at him. I mean, it's like they were getting paid to go that fast. All right, so here I go. Left to right, I missed once.
On the very last target.
I think I reloaded after that. On the very last one, of course.
But no,
and you know what this was? This was target focus.
Was it?
Yes, that's why I did this. Every time I target focused, I did okay. One,
Ping,
two,
ping,
three,
ping,
four,
ping. Center
five,
punched
six,
all of them until
seven.
the center target. And whiff. And you weren't pulling low left on this one. You pulled low right, which means you're pressing hard with your left hand, which is good. But two of those targets, as you see, that were fall forward targets, which was something that, again, the Savages and the Breeze family were able to educate us on. That's where you missed your 3 seconds for those two shots there. But, again, cleared it with plenty of time.
Yeah.
But the key to this one was right up the gut. To get to the bonus target, you had to shoot forward falling targets, which takes more time. So you had to plan the stage around those forward falling targets.
Because we actually watched some people lose like 2 full seconds of
Just waiting for that forward falling target.
and they were both directly in line or in your way of the bonus target. So
because basically what I did was I parted the red sea to the right, shot the forward falling target. That was the first of the two. Shot the red sea to the left as the forward falling target was falling. Shot the second one, cleared all the little poppers after I hit the middle one, and that was about it.
I went left to right, sweeped them all out of the way. Then I think I went to the center to hit the first of the fall forward.
Yep.
And then I kind of went to the left a little bit, and then when that fell, I think I came back, or either just swept. At that point, I knew I was doing fine.
Yep.
So I was like, okay, whatever, just hit him. Which I mean,
And I'm very happy that we decided to use the 147s because I'm buying a bunch of 147s to test with.
I
next.
loved how look. Okay, you can see some more. There, I start gripping harder. But those first rounds, I didn't give a shit.
Well, the gun hits you harder with the 147, so it makes
can
you
see
grip
it
harder.
popping. Like now, it's popping like
Yeah.
a good
Now-
3/4 of an
Now
inch.
it's really snapping because it's the faster cycling 115s.
It's actually a good angle to watch how far your gun rises up because you can see a quick frame of it.
It helps being a Sasquatch.
Why? I mean, I specifically asked if you wanted me to film behind you, and you said no.
No, it's just
Different
shooting
angles.
behind
All right.
someone who's 6.5 foot tall.
Now, I haven't seen myself shoot this. I've only seen the ones that you've.
All of them were posted as of today. That's the problem.
Okay, I was checking.
Yeah.
This guy was pretty cool.
He was cursing in front of children, which made me happy.
Yes. Well. Yeah.
And he cursed a lot.
Yeah, that's true. So
But that kid standing off to the right there, he shot a 297. He actually didn't shoot a perfect like we had thought, but He shot at 297 with his PCC, which was pretty good for a 14-year-old.
I thought he was congratulated by Bart Carson.
Oh, he was, but the actual practice score showed 297.
He didn't really say much, but he was on fire. I don't know if it's me being biased against PCCs, but I gotta say that's still pretty impressive because there was still a couple of those stages where like this one we're talking about right now. Is this Flop and Poppers?
No, it's back and forth.
Okay, God, I can't remember the stage names.
Amateur hour.
Back and forth, stick the landing, and those two probably are what would slow anyone down.
Yep.
And we had mentioned it briefly. A lot of people, because we got to this stage and the people in front of us hadn't even started yet. So we got to watch extra people go through it.
Like a whole squad.
A whole squad of people, a mulligan and a reshoot because they thought someone had a squib, which honestly, he probably would have got a decent score had that not have happened. But
he forgot a target on the far side.
So did two other people in that group.
Yep.
Red.
Shoot red, shoot red, shoot red.
I didn't do terrible starting off.
That every stage didn't do terrible starting off. It's just the wheels fall off halfway through the stage.
Then I start forgetting. Like, I might even try and run after I shoot all these red targets. No, I knew what to do.
No, you knew what you were doing up at that point. Static reload, losing time.
Didn't use a slide lock. There, hesitation.
Got to shoot them whites. And I got boned on the far side. You don't get to see it. Those, as the RO is saying, those plate racks were calibrated by a rock god and Bart Carson himself because they couldn't adjust the bolts on them. So I hit one of the last blue ones 3 times to knock it down. And I was pissed.
That's fair. It looks like I left one blue one and was going for the center target, and the final blue one's on the right. Yep. So I had a bunch. That side, I had a bunch of misses.
Yeah, I did really well on this stage, and I was very pissed that I missed that one target. Because I ran like a bat out of hell at this stage.
Thanks, Meatloaf.
Screwed up the draw. Still got a pretty decent time.
That's the thing, though, is you draw so fast in practice that...
Yeah, I do. Well, this past weekend, I had a sub 1 second draw at 5 yards. Yeah, I was screaming.
5 yards. Okay, never mind. I'm not super impressed.
It's still pretty quick.
Throw the gun faster than that. I honestly, I loved this stage. I wish that, because I had, my problem was, someone was telling me to plan it. Like, okay, walk out exactly what you're going to do. So I was trying to walk it out in my head, and I was saying it out loud to walk through it, and that idiot that was in our group kept commenting on what I was saying and throwing me off.
And he was a baboon. Hose it, missed, failed to drop the mag, pissed, angry, throw magazine.
You see the RO like, hey, wait a sec.
Yeah.
They were really cool. And honestly, at sectionals, they're not going to be this cool.
Probably not.
Because look at the age of these ROs.
You had a really nice drawn shot. That was smooth. Silky smooth. You only had one miss on that side. And the wheels just start falling off after.
I started thinking too much.
That's one thing I didn't do this entire match was think at all while I was shooting. I just hosed.
You can see it, right? Like, okay, I know what color to shoot. Bad, terrible reload. It wasn't crazy slow. It was just bad.
It was very bad.
And I was getting really tired, honestly. Not physically tired. My brain was not
mentally
working.
Exhausted.
Did I hit a blue one? Oh, I hit the actual blue popper.
Had a malfunction of some sort there that I missed.
Was that the one where I said it didn't go in?
Must have, yeah.
There was one where I shoved a magazine and it just stopped. Like
no, that was the next stage. That
Okay.
one you were shooting and the gun didn't pick up around. It looked like me running out of my extra mag pouch, i.e., the front pocket.
Yeah, we all had I actually bought a $7 mag pouch from Shields.
Yeah,
Which was actually a pretty cool store, I gotta say.
it was grotesque overpriced, but it was a cool store.
Wow.
The one thing that I would like to, from watching all this video is I would like to speed up my transitions because if I can snap between targets faster, I'd save microseconds, which add up.
I think we should just honestly. Did you miss one back there, or is it coming up, or you just didn't get it towards the end?
At the very last target, I hosed instead of slowing down. And if I had slowed down, I would have got it in the second shot, but I hosed it and missed all 3 shots at it.
You got the bonus on one shot.
That I did. And missed that 4 or 5 times, hit it 2 or 3 times, knock it down, and hose, miss, buzzer goes off, pissed. But yeah, one of those targets on, maybe 2 of those targets on the right, I had to shoot 3 times for it to fall over. So I was a little upset.
You still kept your composure better than most parents at a basketball game, youth basketball game.
Fair enough. Yeah, there's nothing worse than a parent living through their kid.
That's why we're trying to do cool stuff before we have kids, so we can make our kids even better than us.
Right.
The things that we want.
Right.
Definitely not live through them.
Like parents are supposed to do.
So this is a Polish plate rack?
Mm-hmm.
A Polish wheel?
Mm.
What do they call that normally?
This is a Polish plate rack.
Okay. I felt like I did. You know what? I know I did good on the very first stage. When I ran from, this is another red, white, and blue where you shoot the red from the red box and, so forth. The first stage I think was white, and I target focused the whole time and just ping, 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 ran to red, and that transition and then a fucked up reload and something going on with my gun. I hope you can see it.
You shove the magazine in and the magazine stops, which is one of the many things that happens to most Ruger products because they don't tolerance the mags properly. I put that in there just for good giggles.
I had my mental judo.
But basically, when your magazine is not toleranced properly, the angle of the dangle means a lot. And if you shove it in nose first too far, it will get caught in the front of the mag well. That's basically what happened.
Just cockeyed going in.
Yep.
I feel like I hit it and then turned it and hit it, didn't go in. But I might have just hit it, didn't go, and just tossed it. And then racked around instead of putting a magazine in, racking around. Because then I fired an empty gun, and you probably watched the gun bounce.
I don't remember.
We'll see.
God, that Breeze kid's just constantly sprinting.
Yeah, the whole time.
Savage.
I should have done that.
Absolute savage.
Not for better score, but for weight loss. Oh, you missed that kid on the right. He sprinted out there to catch it. Watch this. This is probably the best. I don't understand.
You cleared all the red with 1 miss, I think. Miss. Hit. 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 Miss. Hit. Nope, 2 misses. Decent reload. Kind of fumbled. Not too bad.
I don't see. Look, that's a good 10, 12, 10 degree. I don't know what's going on here. I don't hear any register report.
No, you're missing the Polish plate rack. Something fierce. That's what happened.
That was a good reload. Yeah. Not the grab, but the insertion.
The insertion. No, I was focusing on your hands, so we had some data to look at afterwards. And I mean, your hands look fine, but yeah, you shoved the magazine in, and they just didn't want to go.
Yeah. And I didn't have enough time to do that.
And you didn't get the special target, I don't think.
Oh, no, I got it. I got it on the white one.
Yeah, you did.
Everyone got it on the white one.
Mm-hmm. You screwed up the RO something fierce because you had your magazine in when you pulled the slide back.
I pulled the slide back and held it and then dropped the magazine, and
it
blew his mind.
He was just like, hammer down, close your slide, hammer holster, hammer down.
I literally, pulled it back again.
Yeah. Well, this was a good stage. I'm going to kind of rewind that where you could see me settling myself. You can see after I load the gun, I grab the gun in the holster, settle myself where I need to be so I have the muscle memory, and I look at all the targets. That, my friend, is stage planning. And then
That's not all of it, but
I just proceed to miss a lot.
Yeah. The funny thing is we're talking all this technique, and we missed
a lot
of fucking targets.
A lot of targets. That's just, it was our first big
There's
match.
little things, because you can compensate for missing if you move fast, if your reloads are fast, if your transitions are fast, but you can't honestly get any better of a score.
You can't make up missing targets.
Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't say make up. You can make up for a tiny amount.
And really, all that time stacked up slamming rounds downrange, we could have just settled ourselves and saved half the time.
Yeah, right there, you missed probably
A lot.
6 or 7 shots.
Didn't even make it at the blue.
I was reloading in the blue box.
Yep.
So, is that it?
That is it.
Well,
10 hours of sun for about 16 minutes of giggles.
yeah. And you know where I forgot sunscreen? The back of my legs. they were super red.
That's why I was wearing pantalones.
Yeah. I don't regret what I wear. I would honestly maybe a different shirt.
Your nippleless shirt.
Don't tell them that. Let them find out on their own accord.
Oh, shit, that's funny.
But it's a good experience. Honestly, it was probably one of the because I looked at my practice score. I've been to 9 matches, including 2-gun matches, which you just have to hit the target. It's awesome. But that was the first actual like full-on event. You know, not something thrown together for a Tuesday night.
Right.
It was a legitimate, ROs and. Here's all because honestly, we'd have 3 stages at our Tuesday night events, and the first one was always ornate because he had all day to set it up.
Oh,
The second one was just kind of the same thing but shifted. And then
was
the
it
third,
just because you had one stall?
yeah, it is. And well, they only had 2 stalls at that range.
Oh, there you go.
So there is one near our house too that or near our original place of living that they had just have one huge stall, but they closed that down Thursday nights for USPSA. And I'll tell you about it later because it'd be cool to squeeze in to get one. That's the one that's $5 a run. But it's huge. It's super wide. So you could put in like a lot more lateral movement.
Right.
Orthogonal to the direction of fire. But no, I think we should get a bulldozer and make it.
Yeah, that would be super neato.
I would rent a bulldozer. I was so close to buying land, and then I got this job. But anywho,
No, you don't want to kill yourself, so that's a plus.
that is too. That is very much a plus. But honestly, what I've learned from this, go out and compete because there's little things that you can pick up. There's something to be said for just sitting down and shooting accurately. Like you don't need to fire off. Like you can do a whole day of training and not do any double taps. Now you'd be stupid not to because it's awesome.
Well,
but,
that and USPSA usually requires 2 shots to neutralize.
Yeah, but there's something. I mean, how did you learn pistols? Because I learned pistols by going to a range where I couldn't shoot more than 1 round every 2 or 3 seconds.
You could watch my entire progression shooting pistols on the YouTube channel, and it was just go out, pull the trigger, figure out what a reset meant, and shoot lots and 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 lots of rounds. Because it probably took about 5,000 rounds till I could actually consider myself decent with a pistol.
I would send you pictures of the targets. You remember that? I'd go to the range and shoot and be like, "Look how I did."
I do not remember that.
I think that was someone else, but I would just get a 5-ring target at the range and just try and hit it. No transitions, no reloads, nothing. I did not practice any reloads.
I didn't know dry firing was a thing until I listened to the Ben.
I thought it was bad for the gun. I never thought about it. I
That's
always
because
just
there's
heard.
so many assholes in gun shops that say it is bad for the gun, and even modern rim fires you can dry fire. It's not going to hurt it.
I mean, even what was I watching? Iraq Veteran 8888. And they were talking like, you don't just dry fire someone else's gun. Why? What's the difference? There's no explosion involved.
I literally went to a new gun shop here in town today, and the dude just kept handing me guns because I told him I shot USPSA and was a YouTuber. And I mean, just the way I dress, it looks like I have money when I really don't.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, compared to the average plebeian that goes into a gun shop.
That's true. You don't have a shirt you did dishes in and sweatpants.
And I'm not wearing a camo hat.
That's fair.
So, yeah, I dry fired every one of his guns, and he didn't care because he was an intelligent human being and realized, yeah, that's what USPSA guys do. That's how we practice.
Seriously. I mean, that's how there was, especially at my old job, there was a lot of time between me actually getting out and doing live fire. And I bet I went a month without shooting one time. It was awful. And
That's terrible.
but I dry fired every night, including in the hotel room, including I mean, I didn't do what we do now with the X's and like no draw fire, nothing. I just had a gun and pointed it at something and pulled the triggers so that when I pulled the trigger, the gun didn't move at all, except for the tiniest of impulses caused by the actual striker firing forward. But you'll know what I'm talking about when you do this. But the best thing you can do is if you do put 5,000 rounds through a gun, you can at some point say, okay, when someone's telling me to change XYZ, I know what they're talking about.
Right.
Because I remember 2 years ago, I didn't know what a trigger reset was.
I didn't know what trigger reset was until I watched enough YouTube videos to know what a trigger reset was.
I mean, think of how crazy of a simple of a concept that is.
It's just because we don't have teachers where we are.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I was actually watching an Angry Cops video, and he was watching that general shoot that AR like a retard. He's like, where's your trigger reset? And I was like, trigger reset. And then clickety-clickety-clack. And now I can't fire rounds off like you can.
Yeah, I had many, many months of YouTube tomfoolery of practice.
That's the difference. Is
Yeah.
I don't want to shoot like a machine gun, but sometimes I do.
I watched one Jerry Mitchell video and said, yeah, I could probably do that. Not near as accurate, but I could probably do that.
Yeah, but just go out, find. And the nice thing is, if you go to the Tuesday night, you go to the Thursday night, little tiny matches indoors, just tell everyone you don't know what's going on. They don't want to get shot, so they'll help you. B, they're usually pretty lax with stuff.
Yep.
Because even the ROs at this event were pretty lax. The next event we go to, it's a roll of the dice. They could DQ us for pointing the gun slightly to the left when I'm like I've heard of people telling me they're like, yeah, when they show drop magazine, pull slide back, show clear. If you do this, and you instead of pointing it straight down range, you pull it back and tilt it a little bit, like you start angling the gun, that they've gotten DQ'd for stuff like that before.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
But they're in charge, and like you're not gonna win with an argument with a cop. You're not gonna win an argument with an RO.
Especially if he's a BOC, that's gonna DQ you for slightly pointing.
Especially if he works at that place, because people either know that he's a BOC and they don't want to hear it and they just deal with his BS, or maybe you're in the wrong. But that's something I'm going to definitely be working on is, first of all, I need to figure out how to replicate the stress of a match, how to accurately shoot better, and transitions. What would you say your biggest things to work on?
Hose less.
Yeah. We should give each other like one of those dog shock collars, and then every time we do something wrong, we'll get shocked.
Like zap. Yeah, no, when I get stressed out, I send lead down range and just kind of hope to Buddha that it actually impacts what I'm aiming at. And that's my number one problem is under stress, I just send more hate down range, and hopefully by volume it does something.
The stress of the match does get you, and that's why I would like to. And it's not even the people watching you. I didn't give a shit about the people behind me. I was more. This is like wrestling. This is like golf. It's you versus yourself, and that's probably one of the hardest things. Which is why I think we progress better as people, is because we get to stare into the depth and watch it stare back at us.
Right.
So, and then sometimes it helps to have a tall German angel on your shoulder yelling everything you do wrong.
Achtung! Yeah, no, there's a lot to be said about doing your research for this stuff, because that's something Uncle Bugatti is self-proclaimed to not do. He just likes to roll around in the coals until he figures it out.
I've told you before, I don't like lying because you have to remember things.
Yeah,
so
right.
Most of my life has just been, jobs, relationships, anything. It's just been like, okay, I'll give it a try.
Yep.
And then someone says, hey, don't do that. Go, okay. But I've definitely been, I don't have as much time in the car, so it's unfortunate because I can't listen to but, because there's something about driving where you can just kind of zone out where you don't really. There's some things I can only listen to in the car or when I'm doing something like reloading. When you reload ammo, perfect time to listen to
Zone right out.
like music. That is the perfect time. Oh, I want to listen to a whole album. Okay, cool. What about the next one? Because it's like, and I think honestly, that kind of transitional point in your mind, you get more of the mood out of that music because you're not like focused on, oh well, the horn section, blah 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 blah. This, but there's something about driving where you can put something like that on and just you'll kind of pick up when you start hearing something you like. Because with this podcast, I don't expect you guys to be taking notes of what we're saying. I listen to Ben's podcast, and there's times when they start dicking around where I'm like, I don't care.
I do not give a shit about what you did at Nationals.
We put one on the way back. We were both tired, and I thought it was a good point because we just stopped talking. And I was like, all right, put this on. And they didn't talk about anything for like 10 minutes.
They just talked about Nationals and how grubby it was.
Yeah, so...
on that autistic bombshell.
But yeah, definitely, check out our videos. Watch us hopefully advance. I think I told him a good goal for me next year, I think, would be 275.
I'm going to get them all.
Got to catch them all.
Pokemon.
Now, are you going to cheat and use a mulligan on a stage if you screw up?
No, I'm not paying $20 for a mulligan.
Because...
Do you even know me?
I don't know, man. I think if you had done a perfect score and on the last match you missed something, I have no doubt in my mind you'd reach up your back pocket and pull out $20.
Nope. If I shot a 299, wouldn't do it. Because you know what? That's the score I earned, and that's what I want to go in the scorebook.
See, that's what my thought is. Like, why are there mulligans? You're not. We didn't win anything.
Well, there's not money at stake, so why would I do it?
Exactly. And
there's nothing for me other than the gratification of getting one more target, which is basically me cheating to get another target.
Yeah, I don't think I would. And honestly, there was probably 2 or 3 stages that I could have.
And honestly, as 2 unclassified shooters there, we beat a lot of B-class people.
How many people were there total?
Around 300.
Okay.
And we beat people in limited and production mostly.
I mean, I was 24th.
Out of 45, I think.
So just about half.
Yeah.
So I'm on the bell curve.
I was in top 10, so.
That's nice.
Yeah. It was a good feeling.
It is. It must be.
All right. Being my first big boy match.
Yeah. All right. Well, tune in to the Mike Papakilo 1414 channel for more USPSA endeavors and other buffoonery involving boomsticks.
And as always, suck it up
and suck my